Hello, crypto subjects, and welcome back to another episode of Subject Crypto. I'm Ethan, and today it's been quite another down day. A lot of players are sitting between 5% down and 10% down. We got eights, fours, Bitcoin sitting at about $10,000, Ethereum 334 ish dollars, and you kind of get the picture. But I'm not here to talk too much negativity because we need some positivity. So, what I want to bring on the table for you guys today is this 20-week moving average. And this is what I've been looking at the last few days. Um, and so I just kind of wanted to bring it up. And so that's this blue line here. We're looking at the weekly chart. And if you notice, we just kissed it a couple times. So what does this mean? Well, if we take a look back here at the good days, the very nice days of every day waking up to your portfolio, another 10-20% higher than the day before, well, this is kind of what we want to look at. So, starting back in April, we really took off from it to get our first run up of about, I don't know what this was, it's probably 100% or something like that, 182. Then we had a little bit of a retracement down about 40%, and then we went up another 182% roughly, just to come down to retest it again at 40% to the downside, and ultimately leading us up to the moon, or what we thought was the moon. So, after all of that, and it cooled off, the 20-week moving average kind of served us as a little bit of resistance and ultimately led to the sell off and helped us kind of out of that dump, that bad rut that we were all in, the fear. We don't even know if Bitcoin's gonna go back up to anything close to what it was before, if we're gonna go back down to zero, and who knows. So, but anyways, and just recently we've touched it a couple times, and the last time we touched it, it didn't really go so well. We had a sell off, but there's also a lot more going on in the markets. And we touched it almost right here, but so it was supporting us. Ultimately, how this week closes is going to determine my opinion going further. But in my mind, the lowest that we're going to go in the midterm is probably 9,200. This was right before we had the kickoff, and anything below that would probably result in much, much lower prices to come. But I wouldn't be worried about either one of those because as long as you have a plan of action going forward, then it's not really too much to worry about. A lower costing Bitcoin is just more gains in the future. You look at it long term. Long term, I mean, as soon as we match up again with the all-time high, we're gonna really kick off a nice bear market or bull market. Not bear market. It's gonna be a bull market. Once we kick off past that, there's nothing to worry about. But I mean, if we're sitting out right now, we're sitting at, you know, you're gonna get twice your money as soon as we get back up there. So it's not really much to worry about, and you're gonna get even more of that if the price goes down further. It's a nice, steady race. It's just like the rabbit and the tortoise and the hare. Slow and steady wins the race. If the quicker we get back up there, the less likely it is that it's going to be solidified. That if we do just have like a spike right up to the old all-time high, we're just going to have another sell-off. The faster you get up there, the less organic it is. The less believable it is that we're going to stay up there. So we take it easy and we just slowly but surely climb. It adds a little bit more confidence in the markets and ultimately your portfolios. and it leads to the exponential rally that we'll have inevitably to $1 billion, and we'll all be rich, and we won't have to worry about the banks taking all of our money through fees and hidden fees and transactions and censorship and all that. And it'll be a wonderful world. But to get there, we got to survive things like this. This isn't much to worry about. I mean, it is it's a little concerning, 20%, but throughout the history of Bitcoin, we've had multiple of these, and some of them have been much worse. 40%. The most recent massive correction we had was 60%, and we're still here. We're still alive. We're still part of this game. We've had some of these corrections, 30, 40%. The massive dump, 50%. That's not even as bad as the one that we just had. So, am I worried about this? No, not really. If we go down further, I'm just going to buy more. And that's my plan. My plan is simple. The lower the price goes, the more I buy. The higher it goes, the less I buy. So I don't want to buy $14,000 Bitcoin. I don't want to pay that much for a Bitcoin. Not me, at least. There eventually somebody will, because the prices won't come back down to these levels. That's ultimately how it goes. There are some prices that Bitcoin will never touch again. Maybe it's 3,000, but I mean, like 1,000, probably never go back to that. At least the market price. I mean, you might be able to find someone selling it over the counter, maybe for $1,000, but that would be pretty insane. You should give me their contact information. But there's some levels. We don't quite know what they are, but there are some levels that will never be touched again. And so we want to buy in right now, not right now, but in this time frame where the price is still trading in down here. Because once, and this is the big picture. This is the big picture we're going to get into now. Is once we get past the 20,000, if we pass that again, I mean, it's very unlikely that we'll go back into 14,000, 10,000. Unheard of. Unheard of. Get that out of here. Get out of here. Okay. Because let's take a look at some previous all-time highs. There's an all-time high at about 700 to $800. We passed that up, came back down, retested it as support, and did that again. But this was our last massive bull run, and we have never seen $1,000 Bitcoin ever again since then. The lowest we've come is $3,100. Then we came back down to $3,800. So maybe $3,100 is never going to be seen again. It's very likely. Because even when we had our biggest dump ever, almost, well, at least recently, we didn't even come back down to those levels. So, when prices go down, and this isn't financial advice, this is just mathematically proven to help out trading, is when prices go down, you buy more. When they go up, you buy a little less. So, that's kind of what I want to touch base on. This week has been a very small volume week. Let's look at the daily. This is kind of where I'm getting my short-term prediction from. Not so much the 20-week moving average, because that's going to show us kind of if we're on the track. And here, this is kind of where my prediction's coming from. The VPVR, this was our last massive trading area. Very big. Even if you open up the entire map, if you want to call it a map, the whole chart, if we include all of these price ranges, this one was the most significant. So, breaking through this is probably unlikely, because there's a lot of trading action. There's a lot of people that wanted to pay around this price. So, could we come back down and retest it? It's very possible. We broke through this support a few times, as well as we're retesting here. So we might get a crazy wick down 9,200 and then continue on our way. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to in the future. I'm not looking forward to price decrease, but if it does, I have a plan in place. And if we go upward, then I'm just going to continue on doing what I normally do and just watching my portfolio grow. Maybe get a little bit more interested in some altcoins. But let's take a look at NASDAQ. The NASDAQ had a crazy bad day today, or the last couple days. Completely demolishing all of the gains it made for this whole month. So maybe it's just the entire economy just kind of taking a breather. There's a lot of things in play. Why is it not loading? Why are you not load? Okay, I just needed a minute. Okay, S&P 500, same story. Went back below the February levels. And how about the Dow Jones? Also the same. So all markets across the board are just kind of taking a little bit of a breather. It's been an absolute tear recently, and sometimes you just got to take a little bit of a breath. Smell the roses. That being said, I hope you guys got a lot of inspiration or value from the video. If you did, just go ahead and drop a like, add a comment, tell me how you're feeling, and subscribe if you want to. Check out my Twitter. There's many ways that you can help support me and the channel grow as I continue to provide some valuable information for everybody. With that being said, I hope you all have a great rest of your day.